latest breaking news, live reports from around Kern County, and your latest weather with Storm Shield Doppler. From the KERO studios in downtown Bakersfield, this is 23 ABC News.
And we are following breaking news right now at a Bear Valley Springs tonight. Thousands of gallons of water on what's being dubbed the Deer Fire tonight.
Bear Valley Springs is just east of Arvin and west of Tehachapi. The fire started around 3 o'clock this afternoon, spreading very quickly because there are winds in that area. The winds pushing this fire just north of the Bear Valley Springs area and into that area. We have team coverage right now. We're going to turn first to Andrew Worth. Andrew, you are covering Bear Valley Springs, where there are parts of the area are under evacuation.
Yes, Tim and Jackie, we're on Medicine Bow right now, and we have Ray Ramirez with the Kern County Fire Department here to talk about a little bit what the evacuation process has gone so far. Can you tell me how it's gone and why it's been upgraded?
If you look at the intensity of the fire and the bone dry fuels that we have up here, manpower is at a premium, and so we're working hard to try to make contact with residents and advise them to get out. We certainly don't want to have another repeat of what we had happen in the Lake Isabella area. Staffing is short, and so we're bringing in people from the evacuation processes. Bear Valley PD has been very instrumental in making contact and getting people out. We're trying to expand the area because of the dry fuels. The fire, we're kind of at the mercy of Mother Nature, and we're trying to work with it and guide it around the structures. That's the best we can do at this time because of the amount of resources we have.
And as we see another truck rolling in, this has become one of the areas that you guys are trying to guide this fire away from homes and all that. Have there been any problems, any homes or anything like that taken so far?
No, not so far as we know. We're up on the top end of Bear Valley, and so I don't know what went on at the lower end. They had quite a firefight down at that end. They were able to move stuff away from structures and work it up this way, and now we're trying to guide it away from the structures until we can get air tankers and enough resources to try to work on the head and control it. The best we can do is try to get it away from the structures and get people out.
All right, thank you. And as he just said, they're just working to contain the fire right now and keep it away from those homes. So we'll keep you up to date on turnto23.com and during the 6 o'clock show as much as we can. In Bear Valley Springs, Andrew Worth, 23 ABC.
All right, thank you very much, Andrew. And just to sum up a little bit here, 0% containment, but they do have crews up on Medicine Bow, that is in the Bear Valley Springs area, working to prevent it from getting to those buildings, those homes, because at this point, no homes have been burned so far.
And we have Laura Acevedo who's standing by. We have Laura there up. Laura, and we just saw behind you while Andrew was talking with the fire captain up there in Bear Valley Springs, a retardant drop go right behind you. So talk about the firefight where you're at and the latest information you have from where your post is. All right. It appears we're having some audio issues with Laura. Laura, stand by there. Who it appears she has Captain Tyler Townsend standing by with some information in just a moment. Let's go to Cassie Carlisle, who is in the Live Center. Cassie, you've been following this from the social media standpoint, from what people are talking about. What are you seeing from the Live Center? And obviously, a great deal of panic for residents in that area tonight.
A lot of panic, a lot of people worried that this is going to be just like the Erskine fire, just as devastating. Now, we just saw Tyler Townsend. He was actually Facebook Living earlier. This is what it looked like to be a firefighter up in the middle of this fire. You can see how close they are to that scorched earth. There is so much of it. Again, 500 acres now is where we're at in just a couple hours. Now, looking at this fire, you can see the reason why it grew so fast. It's because of all of this yellow grass. The winter rains that we had grew a lot taller grass, and with the drought, with the heat, it just dried right up, and firefighters are calling this tinder, and again, that is why it spreads so fast. Now, looking at this, Kern County Fire has been posting so many photos, and so many people are saying thank you to the firefighters and the first responders for Erskine Fire, and that is what we're looking at right now on social media. Back to you.
All right, Cassie, thank you for that. And of course, as we mentioned, by the numbers, this is 500 acres plus, and now 0% containment. We want to go right now back to Laura Acevedo.
Yeah, Laura, you have Tyler Townsend with you with the very latest, the very update on this fire.
Yes, Jackie, and he is joining me right now. Tyler, can you give us the very, very latest on this fire?
Okay, this fire started just after 3 p.m. today along Highway 223. We currently have Highway 223 shut down in between 58 and Arvin. Right now, this fire has grown to approximately 500 acres, 0% containment. It's very active. It's moving up the hillside towards Bear Valley Springs. We have evacuation notices in effect for areas of Bear Valley Springs that are nearest to that ridgeline. If you live in that community, stay up to date with those evacuation notices. Sign up for Ready Kern right now, so when we are evacuating you, you'll receive that call. Valley Springs PD is up in the area, along with a group of firefighters that are doing structure protection. That means prepping those homes for if that fire front crests the hill. They're removing any kind of fuels from around the home. They're limbing up trees. They're doing anything they can to prepare those homes should that fire reach the community.
You were talking to me about those dead trees that are up there that we have been talking about for some. Talk about how this is really what's fueling the fire.
Tree mortality out this year, and what that is, it's those dead trees you can see on the hillside. If that fire reaches those trees, it could be explosive fire behavior, meaning we could see that fire spread very quickly with very large flame lengths. It's a very dangerous situation because that community has a lot of these dead trees in it. We've been working with logging companies to remove those trees, but we're not there yet, and it is something that people should be concerned about. They should remain vigilant, and they should stay up to date with what's going on.
And can you talk to me about the plan of attack right now? We have seen some crews on foot, we've seen some crews in the air, and we saw a tanker just a few minutes ago.
This is a very active fire scene. We've been able to pull some resources from the Erskine fire. That includes 6 air tankers, 4 helicopters. We have firefighters on the ground hiking in to put the containment line around the fire. But they're having to flank this fire because the head of the fire is very active. We're trying to slow down the front of the fire with the retardant drops in the water. The crews are working around the side to wrap this fire in and hopefully contain it before it crests that ridge line.
Any telling how soon you keep...
I hate to give an estimate because it is the hottest part of the day. That fire is being pushed by winds in uphill terrain. So at this time, we're just fighting it the best we can. We're moving forward. We have more resources en route in addition to the 80 to 100 firefighters that are already here on scene right now.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us. So as you heard from Captain Tyler Townsend, right now there is no word on containment yet. So right now it is 0% contained and they are dealing with these. I will have live updates throughout the show. For now, I'll send it back to you guys.
One more thing. As we heard from Tyler, they're very active, and the worst part of the day, of course, this is the hottest part of the day. And so this is a recipe for disaster, and as you heard from him, if it crosses that next ridge, that's really the concern. So again, if you're in the Bear Valley Springs area, heed those warnings, sign up for Ready Kern, get those alerts. Of course, we'll be passing them along to you as well and give you the latest information.
Yeah, and right now we do have Mark Christian. He's our chief photographer. He's out in the field right now joining us from the scene. I believe you're on Highway 223.
No, actually, Jackie, we are over off of Highway 58, right by General Beale. I've been here for over an hour. Let me just step out of the way so you can see. Definitely within the last 20 minutes, you've seen these huge plumes of smoke that have definitely dissipated just in the past 20 minutes. Now, I've seen many air tankers come through here, and it looks like, as you can see over here, there used to be huge plumes of smoke coming through. Now it has dissipated, and over to the east a little bit, there's this area right here. I saw an air tanker drop a little bit, and that area has come, the flames, the smoke is going, but it has dissipated. So actually, it's pretty good news at this time. And like I said, we've been here, we've seen the smoke just plume up. I've saw air tankers and many things happening, but right now things seem to be doing much better. Now, as I was pulled here inside of the road, a lady from Bear Valley Springs came up. She asked me if there's any possibility that she would not be able to get into her property. She says she has several animals and she's concerned because of the Erskine fire. She did not want to have the same repeat. Now, let me just show you over here real quick. There is a water tank and many CAL FIRE crews up with water here at this tank. Now they're leaving, heading back towards the fire. But as you can see, it's an active situation on the ground and in the air. So that's the very latest out here off of Highway 58. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, very interesting perspective. Mark has this kind of wide shot. He can kind of see from a vantage point. Hey, Zeus, you have that shot behind you from Tehachapi. You see that plume of smoke. What are these conditions like right now for the weather? And as Tyler mentioned, Hottest part of the day, this is not good, right?
It is the hottest part of the day. It's actually measured or recorded at this time of the day. It's not at noon. It's actually right before sunset. That's when the hottest part of the day is. This is a live view from Tehachapi, and we can see the deer fire smoke already from Tehachapi. It's a bit dense, and we can see the breezy conditions are not going to help today those firefighters. Low humidity, which equals dry conditions and hot temperatures. Again, it's the hottest part of the day. We can see those winds actually blowing from the southwest, and it will just travel all the smoke to the north and parts of the east. Again, you have to be very careful. The winds are blowing between 5 to 10 miles per hour with wind gusts of up to 15 miles per hour. Now, in the surface, temperatures are in the triple digits by the foothills, upper 90s, and by the mountains, low 90s. Overall, it's a hot day today. It's a low humidity, and the winds are not helping either. We can take a look at those temperatures, triple digits and 90 over at the Tehachapi area. Overall, conditions will be bad for those fires because it will help them expand and spread as conditions continue to be dry and those winds will continue to pick up. Now back to you, Tim and Jackie.
All right, thank you, Jesus. And so right now, if just in case you are just joining us, we are covering the Deer Fire. This is just south of 223 and just north of the Bear Valley Springs area. There are recommended evacuations in place. There are also mandatory evacuations in place for parts of that community. Right now, 500 acres. 0% containment, and they're describing this as dynamic.
And very active is from one of the public information officers with Kern County Fire. Right now we have Linda on the phone. Forgive us, Linda, we didn't get your last name when we made contact with you, but you're in the area. What are you seeing? And give us a vantage point for where you are, and have you heard anything from firefighters?
Hi, I'm at Cub Lake where we're going to have all the festivities for tomorrow, and I'm looking over at the fire, looking towards Bakersfield, and it looks like it's going out. There's a huge pillar of smoke. It's white smoke, but it looks like they've got it contained, that they are containing. It was blowing east, all the smoke, but it's looking much better than it was about a half an hour ago.
Yeah, that's certainly good news. We heard from Mark Christian, who had sort of a wide shot, and he mentioned the same thing that you're kind of seeing. The smoke seems to have been slowing down a bit. Again, where are you exactly, Linda?
Cub Lake in Bear Valley.
Okay, so you're quite a ways away. Have any firefighters been to your street? Have you been hearing anything there?
Yeah, we watched the fire engines come and driving up Deer Trail from here, and I believe I live up in the mountains, and they go by my house all the time to go up in that area of Deer Trail. That's how they get up there.
And Linda, what have they said to you so far? I'm assuming you're not in the area where they have put into place any evacuations. You're not in that area. Is that correct?
No, I receive information on my phone, and I'm looking at the fire station here from the Cub Lake. Mm-hmm. And they're all up at the fires, and they're working on it. And the information I'm receiving is they're just, in case they need to evacuate. They don't need to yet, but in case they do, they can go into town to Jacobson School.
Right, yes, that is the evacuation set up right now into Tehachapi. Jacobson Middle School is open right now. Linda, I'd be curious to get from you, your perspective, just what this feels like as a homeowner and as someone who lives in this picturesque and beautiful part of Kern County. This has got to be pretty nerve-wracking tonight to see what we've seen with Erskine Fire, but now with this fire getting so close to your community.
Yes, it is kind of scary because we just had a fire on Oak Flat here in Bear Valley, and that one was pretty scary for the homes, came close to the home. And I have friends that live up where there's no more trees up there. All the trees are dying, and they have been afraid of this fire coming because they're afraid of their homes.
Right, and the conditions are just so ripe for this. Dead and dying trees.
Everything's so dry.
Right,
yeah.
And it's so dry.
Yeah, Tyler Townsend, one of the fire officials, was telling us the trees out there, the dying trees, and the damaged trees from the beetle bark, I believe it is. Have you experienced that, or do you feel like they've done a good job? What's kind of your perspective on how safe your community is tonight?
Well, I feel really good about our firefighters and how safe they keep us. It's because I've lived here for over 20 years, and they've always taken care of us no matter what happens. It's always been, they're very good about fighting the fires and getting on it and putting it out, and with the water, and everyone works together here. It's really a good community.
Well, we certainly, Linda, we hope you remain safe where you are. And as you mentioned, this firefight seems to be dissipating from her vantage point. From our vantage point, too, we've seen less smoke, which is a good sign. We are going to stay on the air here, take a quick break, and come back with more coverage from this deer fire burning near Bear Valley Springs. Stay with us.
Robin, I need to talk to you. It's urgent. Our battery is on 20, what is it?
Thanks again. In about 30 seconds, I'm going to ask you some questions. And continuing to follow that breaking news out of Bear Valley Springs tonight, where we're following a fast-moving wildfire that's forced residents to leave their homes.
Yeah, fire crews are using helicopters to drop water and fire retardant. And the fire is between Arvin and Tehachapi. You can see we've got a map right here. The deer fire, that's what it's being called. It's not easily accessible in this area. It's very mountainous and hilly. And one of our photographers caught up with a woman who waited for her kids at that evacuation center that's been set up in Tehachapi for this deer fire. And after speaking with us, she said her kids soon arrived at the Jacobson Middle School where the center is located. She said she was relieved they were okay. Take a listen to what she had to say.
I am grateful that my children are okay. But I was like, no, I just feel better if the children were not in Bear Valley by themselves with no one who cannot drive.
In this situation, where are your kids and get them safe, of course. And the latest development says we're looking at pictures of this evacuation center that this is threatening homes still in Bear Valley Springs. We've heard conflicting reports about whether this is dissipating, whether it's still going. We want to check back in with Laura Acevedo for that side of the story. Right, because Laura, you had spoken with Tyler Townsend and they had said that there's a little bit less smoke, but that doesn't mean that we're in the all clear because this is 0% contained.
Right, Jackie, this fire is 0% contained and tied out of control at any moment, so they are trying to control it right now. And Tyler Townsend is actually right here. Tyler, I know you just got back. Sorry to do this to you, but do you have any new information for us right now?
The details are the same. About 500 acres, 0% containment, still a very active fire pushing up that hill, threatening the community of Bear Valley Springs.
Now, I have seen 2 tanker planes coming in, and we have one. Is that one right now?
That is an air tanker, yeah.
And so what are those doing? What are they trying to do right now at the moment?
We're utilizing aircraft to slow down the spread of the fire. They're utilizing them to slow down those flames at the head of the fire. We're working our firefighters around the sides to establish containment lines. The air tankers are putting in retardant along the flanks and at the head. Helicopters are dipping just down below us, grabbing water, dropping it on the hot spots and the flames down up ahead.
So still very active. Now, for the people that live in Bear Valley Springs, I know that there are evacuations in place. What would you tell those people if they're watching us right now?
We've already issued one Ready Kern alert, and that was for the residents who live near the ridge line in Bear Valley Springs. If you're not signed up for Ready Kern, do it right now. And as soon as we do make those evacuation notices, if that fire crests the ridge line, we'll let you know. Pack your car now. If you live in that area, be real. Get your personal documents, medications, your kids, your pets, the most important things.
Perfect. Thank you for joining us. So you heard it right there. If you are in the Bear Valley Springs area, be ready to go. It's better to be safe than sorry, and better to pack your bags. And if you don't need to leave, you can just put them back inside your home later. But it is better to be safe than sorry. So if you are under those evacuation orders, it is better to get out right now. And this fire is 0% contained, and the winds are consistent. So fire crews really battling up here, making sure that no structures are damaged. Reporting live near Arvin, Laura Acevedo, back to you guys.
And it's certainly those firefighters that are up there right now are doing that. We've already seen one pretty sizable part of Bear Valley Springs that's been under mandatory evacuations, and that's where Andrew Worth is right now.
Yeah, Andrew was up at Medicine Bow. They were telling us that no homes have been burned just yet, but again, they're really working to contain this fire and keep it from reaching the ridge. For us in our newsroom. She's at the Life Center. Cassie, what are you seeing? What are people reporting from those front lines right there?
Yes, again, everybody is all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, using the hashtag #DearFire. They're very concerned that this is going to be just like the Erskine fire. They don't want more homes to be destroyed. And check out, this is why everybody's concerned, because of how fast this fire moved. As you watch, it starts right there and then it just climbs right up the side of that mountain. And it is scaring a lot of people. Again, that Ready Kern alert that we were talking about a little bit earlier has been issued. If you have not gotten it, the most important thing you need to know is if you can't get out, call 1-800-277-7866. If you need assistance getting out, evacuating you or your pets, that is the number for the Aging and Adult Services hotline. Now, you can also call 911 if there is an emergency in your area, and then there's also more information at 211, and that is the latest here in the Live Center. Sending it back to you guys.
All right, Cassie, thanks. And we want to check back in now with our chief photographer, Mark Christian, who is out. Mark, you have a really great spot. You're closer to General Beale Road, Highway 58, and you can see right to that fire. And tell us your vantage point and what you're seeing.
That's right, Tim. We are out here. We're still about 10 miles away from the fire, but from this vantage point, you can definitely see how much it is burned. I want to give you a closer look on the fire as the smoke in the past half hour has dissipated. Since I've gotten here earlier, about an hour ago, the smoke was flying high in the sky, and the smoke was blowing more now in an easterly direction. So right over the hill here, as you can see, is Bear Valley Springs, but now the smoke is blowing in a different area, and I want to take you more to the south. Over here, this was really burning about 20 to 30 minutes ago, and now it is dissipated as I've seen air tankers come through here, and the smoke has definitely come down quite a bit. Now, I've heard on previous reports that it's not have 0% containment, but from this vantage point, looking at the smoke, it definitely is dissipated, and that seems to be some good news from where I stand here off of General Beale on Highway 58.
All right, Mark, thank you for that perspective. And of course, we've seen and heard that firefighters from the Erskine fire are coming to fight this. Almost, it could be a perfect recipe in a way, because you have all these crews who have been fighting this fire on the ready and standing by, and they were able to divert, it sounds like, some of those air tankers to help this
right,
fire.
And they need all the help they can get. It is very hot out there. The winds are blowing, and the winds can change this fire at any given second. That is why they're describing this fire as dynamic, because you just never know what's going to happen. With so much dry brush out there, you just don't know what could happen next. The winds can change it at any minute.
We want to check back in with 23 ABC's Andrew.
Yes, right off the backside of this property here to my left, firefighters are standing on the ledge watching off of this patio as the fire is creeping up closer and closer. As what you can't see is that the smoke cloud has kind of consumed over this canyon that's here behind us, and they said that yes, Medicine Bow has been evacuated, mandatory right now, but the next angle that they might try to fight at is the Cedar Creek Court. That will be the next place as they move closer and closer to downtown Bear Valley Springs area, farther into town. But yes, this is one of the areas that they're trying to keep an eye on the fire as it's trying to creep up the hill. They're attempting to battle it and keep it down that hill.
Andrew, is there any way that you can show us those firefighters that you had just mentioned that are out on the ridge there?
No, they're out on the back patio, and I can show you this house here as I turn this a little bit. Sorry for the sun, but this house here, they are on that back patio right now that has a beautiful view off of the back, and I'll take it away from the sun. It has a great view looking down at the fire. You can see parts of Arvin and Bakersfield in that shot, but they're just waiting, and they're waiting to battle this fire, hoping that the wind doesn't continue to push it this way.
All right, Andrew, thank you so much for reporting there. A beautiful shot behind them. Unfortunately, they are facing could be devastating for that community. We want to look into Jesus Lopez here with the latest fire conditions. What are we seeing?
Well, the winds are starting to pick up again. This light color shade, it's winds between 5 to 10 miles per hour, but the darker color shade, if we can take the lower third off, behind it you can see that dark color. Well, those winds are between 15 to 20 miles per hour. So those winds will pick up. Temperatures are hot throughout the valley, so that's another ingredient for that fire to keep on burning. We can see that temperature 90 degrees by Tehachapi. And now we do have those watches and warnings in effect. This is a fire warning, and we have it currently right now. It's just right here. That's where the fire is actually happening, and that's where we have the fire actually burning. And conditions are extremely dry. 18% is the humidity index over at Tehachapi. That means that the air is dry. Winds are picking up at 15 miles per hour, and they will continue that way, and that could spread the fires. Now, back to you guys.
All right, Jesus, thank you so much for that. And of course, we will continue to monitor this situation. Again, this is 500 acres, 0% containment. That is the official word from firefighters tonight as we continue to monitor the deer fire.
And it is important to note, no homes have been destroyed just yet. There are evacuations in place for parts of the Bear Valley Springs area. We will continue monitoring this, keep you updated on our website, turn223.com.
And download our mobile and tablet app. We're going to send push alerts out with any more evacuations if this fire changes and any developments. For now, reporting here in studio, I'm Tim Callahan for Jackie Ochoa. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tonight at 11.